What would you do if Ronaldo played for Cape Verde? Or if Messi played for the Spanish national team? Or what if Haaland played for England during the Euros final? Would the outcome have been different? Well, here's a list of football players who could have played for a different nation. And first off, let's talk about one of the GOATs, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, Ronaldo could have played for an African national team, and that team would be Cape Verde. Cape Verde is a former colony of Portugal who Ronaldo decided to play for. But how was it possible for CR7 to be able to play for them? Well, Cristiano's great-grandmother, Isabel Rosa, was born in the African beauty spot, meaning that if Ronaldo was ever considering to play in the next AFCON, then he absolutely could. But the other GOAT is Mr. Lionel Messi. Messi was born in Rosario, Argentina back in 1987, but despite Messi's parents both being of Argentine heritage, he could have easily played for Spain if he wanted to. You see, back in 2001, when Messi first made a move to Barcelona at the age of 13, Messi was playing so well for FC Barcelona that the club director of football at the club was super impressed, and the word about young Messi was getting around. Messi took this opportunity to try and persuade the Spanish Football Federation that he would be the right man to be included in the Spanish national team. But after all of that, Messi stuck loyal to his home country of Argentina. But why? Well, it all comes down to one of the greatest and Messi's idol for a fact, Diego Maradona. Maradona famously won the World Cup with Argentina, and Messi saw clips of him dominating the competition. So, Messi saw this as an inspiration as to why he should choose Argentina over Spain. But luckily for Messi, in the end, he made the right decision because he has just recently won the World Cup for Argentina. This is the third time that Argentina have won the World Cup, since being the last time they won it was back when Maradona played for them in 1986. But either way, Messi could have won it with either Spain or his home country of Argentina, which is the country he chose in the end. But next we have a French superstar who missed out on this year's World Cup, and this could have been crucial. You may know Paul Pogba for his unsuccessful spell at Manchester United, but did you know that he could also play for Guinea, and he's eligible to represent them on the international stage? Yeah, that's right. In fact, it's all down to the fact that his father is of Ghanaian heritage and was actually born there. Meanwhile, his two brothers Matthias and Florentine Pogba have played for Guinea, so the choice of choosing France was even harder for Paul. But in the end, the born Frenchman did indeed choose France, and that may have been a great choice due to him winning the World Cup with the team back in 2018. Oh man, I wonder if his brothers are wishing they did the same thing. Jamal Musiala is a German-born footballer and is one of the hottest young talents in world football. But did you know that he once played for England at the under-20s level alongside Jude Bellingham? I know, that's crazy to think about, right? Well, his father is a Nigerian British citizen and his mother is actually fully German. So he also could have played for Nigeria if he decided to. But before the 2020 Euros, Musiala decided that he was no longer going to play for England and decided to switch over to his mother's home nation of Germany. Musiala said in an interview with The Athletic that, "I have a heart for Germany and a heart for England. Both hearts will continue to beat." It was Germany's manager, Joachim Löw, who convinced the youngster to claim allegiance to the Germans rather than the English side. But it's only a matter of time before we find out if he made the right choice. Next, let's move on to Erling Haaland. This young Norwegian sensation has already made a name for himself in the world of football, scoring a ton of goals for his club and for the Norwegian national team. But what if Haaland decided to take his talents to England? Haaland would be a perfect fit for the English system. His speed, strength, and let's not forget his finishing ability would make him a nightmare for defenders. Plus, he would have great chemistry with his old Dortmund teammate Jude Bellingham, who tore up the Qatar World Cup with his masterclass performances. But the reason that Haaland could play for the Three Lions is all down to him simply being born in England. You see, his father was also a very famous football player who spent 10 years in England playing for teams such as Nottingham Forest, Leeds, and then his son's current club, Manchester City. During his spell of playing in England, Alf had little Erling, so that's the reason why he could play for England anytime he wants to. And who knows, would England have beaten France in the quarter-finals of the World Cup if Haaland was up front? I guess we'll never know. Now we're moving on to one of the most famous things in all of Sweden, besides ABBA, IKEA and Saab. It's none other than Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now I know what you're thinking, Zlatan has already represented Sweden in international competitions and is considered a national treasure by many Swedes. But did you know that he actually has a dual citizenship with both Croatia and Bosnia? That's right, Zlatan could have potentially suited up for either of the two countries in any competition. Despite Ibra being born in Sweden, his dad is a crown-born Bosnian and his mother is of Croatian nationality. His father, Sefik Ibrahimovic, migrated to Sweden back in 1977 and his mother, Jerka Gravic, migrated around the same time, where both his mother and father met. But can you just imagine the crazy link-up play between Modric and Zlatan? That would be one hell of a force to be reckoned with. But a player who is definitely another player to be reckoned with is none other than Bayern Munich defender Alphonso Davies. You see, Davies currently represents Canada and is known for his blistering pace and his incredible strength on the ball. But did you know that Alphonso could have been a superstar in his country of birth, Ghana? When Alphonso Davies was just 5 years old, his mother decided to move the family to Canada for a better life. His parents wanted to escape the Liberian Civil War, so Alphonso and his family were taken to a Ghanaian refugee camp, where the Davies family crossed the Atlantic and decided to spend the rest of Alphonso's childhood in Alberta, Canada. With this being said, Alphonso could have easily played for Ghana due to him spending the years leading up to his 5th birthday spent in a refugee camp in Ghana. But in the end, Davies chose Canada as he is forever grateful for a blessed life and a warm welcome him and his family was given upon arrival. He paid Canada back so well that he helped Canada qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 1986. So the future is looking exceptionally bright for Canada and Alphonso Davies. But did you know that one time when Alphonso Davies was working out in the gym trying to get as strong as possible for the World Cup, that he decided he was no longer going to work out in silence, so he decided to pick his TV remote up and turn on some Crossbar. So if Alphonso Davies loves the channel, then I'm sure you'll love it too. So what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel right now, it's completely free. Anyways, another player who fled their home country during a terrible time was in fact Raheem Sterling. Now I know what you might be thinking, why would Raheem Sterling's family leave such a beautiful country that is known for their beautiful beaches and their amazing food? Well, things took a turn for the worst when Raheem was just 2 years old. His father was sadly murdered due to the gang life that his dad was involved in. His mother didn't want to see this happen to any of her children and started a new life with Raheem and her children in London. Raheem found his passion of playing football in England, and so when Raheem was very young, he was picked up by England to represent them. And Raheem decided to accept the offer instantly instead of representing his home country of birth, Jamaica. Ever since that moment, Raheem and his family have stayed in England, and let's just say he hasn't done too bad for himself. But hey, Raheem can return to Jamaica whenever he feels like getting away from it all. But this next player was almost killed because of him switching national teams. Diego Costa, the powerful and prolific Brazilian-born striker, made a highly controversial switch from representing Brazil to representing Spain, the country of his upbringing. As a child, Costa moved to Spain with his family and began his football career there. But despite his strong ties to Spain, Costa was called up to represent Brazil at the international level in 2013. However, after just 2 friendlies, he made the surprising decision to switch his allegiance to Spain. The move was met with much criticism from Brazilian fans and officials, who felt betrayed by Costa's decision. Some even called for him to be banned from representing Spain, but Costa stood firm in his decision, citing his strong ties to Spain and his desire to compete at the highest level with the best players in the world. In the end, Costa's decision paid paid off. He was a key member of the Spanish team that won the FIFA World Cup in 2018, scoring some of the most crucial goals and providing a physical presence up front. So thanks to Costa, Spain cemented its status as a footballing powerhouse. But let's move on to Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe is a young and talented football player who has been making waves in the world of football. Born in Paris, Mbappe has been a key player for the French national team and has helped them achieve many successes on the international stage. However, Mbappe also has ties to Cameroon, the country where his father was born. As a result, Mbappe has the option of playing for Cameroon instead of France. So if Mbappe was to switch his allegiance to Cameroon, he could help Cameroon become a more competitive team in the world of football and could even help them qualify for major international tournaments like the World Cup. Mbappe would also be a role model for young Cameroonian players, inspiring them to pursue their dreams and reach their full potential. In the end, it would be up to Mbappe to decide whether he wants to play for Cameroon or France. But for now, Mbappe's sticking with France. So some players have found success with their new national team, and others haven't. It's important for us to remember that these players are just human beings, and they make decisions based on what is best for their lives and careers. But do you know what would be best for your life? If you check out the time that Paul Pogba cast a curse on his French teammate Kylian Mbappe. I know, so if you want to find out more, then be sure to click on the video on screen right now.